So, Marcus, I don't know if you heard about this, but Chris Jericho's coming back to New Japan.
Just saw that clip. Les Champions is returning to New Japan.
The Painmaker, Chris Jericho.
Painmaker versus the standard, the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I saw somebody that say this was gonna be a 5-star classic. I don't know about all that, but these are two of the best. So definitely will be one to watch.
He made his return this morning at the I forget what it's called. I forget the event's name, but he showed up in a preview trailer, just a little situation, and as the video played, there's a bunch of Hiroshi Tanahashis playing the theme song for Tanahashi, and then someone was just taking them out one by one until it was revealed to be Chris Jericho, and then like a bunch of Chris Jericho-esque designed villains attacked the rest of the Tanahashis, and he basically just said, hey Tanahashi, night 2, your ass is mine, bitch. He said. I think he said January 5th. I thought he said January 4th. But it says on Wikipedia he's going to be facing Tanahashi on night 2, so I think he said January 5th. So this has gotten a lot of people to inquire about what's going on. Other things that came out last night is apparently there are going to be 2 matches at the 4th event. There's going to be Okada versus Kota for the heavyweight title, and Naito versus Jay White for the IC title. And the winners will then meet in night 2 in a title match. So someone's going to be walking out with 2 Le Champion title belts. I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, they finally pulling that double trigger, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like that it's kind of like we're all going for it. This is the goal. I dig that. The fans in Japan weren't too excited during the post-match segment where all 4 guys squared off, but whatever. On night 1, we also have Jushin Thunder Liger, Tatsumi Fujinami, The Great Sasuke, and Tiger Mask with El Samurai taking on Noki Sano, Shinjihiro Otani, Tatsuhito Takaiwa, and Ryusuke Taguchi with Kuniaki Kobayashi. So it's going to be an 8-man match with Noro Hanma as the special guest referee. So this is a big old bout. It's one of Liger's 2 last matches. Liger does have one more last match the next night, but his opponent's not yet announced. I thought Tanahashi was going to be that guy. May I offer the Great Muta as a suggestion as well? I think Great Muta versus Jushin Thunder Liger on the 5th night, or on the 2nd night of the Dome show would be great. We also have Bullet Club's El Fantasmo and Taiji Ishimori versus Roppongi 3K for the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. Roppongi 3K won the Junior Heavyweight Tag League, so that's why that's going on. Also last night, Will Ospreay found out that he will be facing off with the returning Hiromu Takahashi for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Marcus, you're a Takahashi guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Hiromu's return?
I'm just glad the guy's coming back. I've been digging everything Ospreay's been doing, and that whole narrative since Roman's been gone is exactly when he was coming back, and obviously first thing he was gonna go after was that junior heavyweight. So this got potential to be match of the night, just on paper. Mm-hmm. Like I said, seeing Shibata, man, it's gonna be good to see Hiromu back in action, because he could have ended his career.
Yeah.
That spot he took. So it's gonna be good to see him back in action. All this swag, and the last piece of the LIJ, the last piece of that puzzle. So it's gonna be good just to have him back. But I know they go turn in, hoping they turn in a phenomenal match, which the junior heavyweights always do. So.
Also, shout out to Pro Wrestling Noah, who put on one hell of a show. I think it was November 1st. 6,000 people almost showed up to that event, and apparently it was a barn burner. And also MLW had a big show this weekend that I heard was really good, and I'm going to be watching that probably after we record Ohio Guys tonight. So I'm really excited about that. Like, MLW is putting on a really solid, constant product, and it makes me happy. Timothy Thatcher, folks. versus Tom Lawler apparently was the show of the night, match of the night for the show. So tune in for that. But this New Japan Chris Jericho news got everyone abuzz because Tanahashi Jericho has never happened before that I'm aware of. And it kind of parlays something that the Young Bucks said. Now, Jericho has the ability, according to Dave Meltzer, to work AEW and New Japan as he wishes. There is no constructs, there's no confines, there's no restrictions or that. I don't know what Jericho's AEW contract is. I would have to hazard a guess that it's not a very long one. And he's been around for almost a year now, maybe a little bit less. So I'm curious with the Jackson brothers saying that they're not going to work with New Japan. There is no subterfuge. There is no lying. They're not working with New Japan, and they don't want people to think that they're going to. There's no discussions to do so. This doesn't necessarily restrict Jericho from working with New Japan. But I do have to wonder if maybe Jericho isn't looking to stay with New Japan or AEW long term. Is it possible that you think Jericho could be done with AEW within the next few months?
For now, I will say no. It's because I think, and I have to go back to that Chris Van Vliet interview he did. I want to say he signed for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Something of that nature. And I mean, look, the man clearly appears to have carte blanche in every area of what he's doing in wrestling right now, but specifically in AEW. I mean, he's doing stuff he hasn't done before. He's really leading the charge, spearheading, being the emblem of his company right now, despite obviously we got Cody, but, Jericho's really bearing that torch. He's also in a faction which he's never been in his career, I don't think. And this is Le Champion thing again. The man, everything he touches or says turns to gold. So I think this relationship with New Japan and him keeping that up is just, obviously the lineage with New Japan, obviously that was a part of his career before he got off in the WWE. And I think, he definitely wanted to go back there someday. And now he's going back there and, New Japan's never been hotter, like you said. And this is just him getting to do a lot of stuff that he wouldn't have been able to do, specifically if he would have stayed with WWE. And to get to go against guys like Tanahashi, Okada, Tetsuya Naito specifically, I guess, this is the back half of Jericho's run as a wrestler. So, you got to get this stuff in now, specifically on the stage like, this is going to be a second Wrestle Kingdom?
Third?
Yeah, second and third Wrestle Kingdom. So man, come on, you got to strike while the iron is hot. But I don't necessarily see him going at full time because that's a grueling thing for somebody that stays in the States and he got a full family.
Mm-hmm. And he tours.
He tours, and that's just rough on the body with that style. Going however long they do. So I think there ain't too many people that has a lucrative wrestling run that Jericho, from all perspectives, as Jericho right now. Maybe you can compare him somebody that come close as Brock, but we all know he got the whole damn company by the balls. But in terms of just overall, you got to go with Jericho, man. He's a made man.
I'm curious to see what happened with Jericho after Full Gear. I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves television for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves the company because if Kylie Ray, whose literal gimmick is to be happy, wasn't happy there, I wonder what that atmosphere is like. I also look at someone like Rob Van Dam, who in his entire career has never really been much of a rah, this is where I want to be guy, but now he's very much that way with Impact Wrestling. Jericho's very good friends with Don Callis, and Impact has the money to spend. I don't know how. I'm flabbergasted. I do know they are turning a profit to some degree with the wrestling promotion. And I'm referring to Anthem as a large entity. And I also know that they were able to come up with the cash to buy Access because, it happened. So I don't know how much money they have for Impact, but I also know that Impact is Anthem's primary number one kind of identity property. So they are truly desire, like there's a lot of desire there to truly back Impact as best they can to prop it up and to make it a profitable idea. And they're pulling in about 2,000 to 3,000 people a show. That's pretty good. That's a real good number. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen going forward with Impact. And the reason why I bring up Jericho is because if things are not going the way they were all intended to go in AEW, maybe he does leave. I don't know. I would imagine that they wouldn't want him to work with New Japan because they're trying to develop a relationship with DDT, because they just sent Riho and Kenny Omega to DDT last night or this morning. So, having multiple guys in one promotion working for multiple companies isn't always the way to go. So I do have questions about Jericho's full-time AEW commitment because of what we're seeing around us. Now, this doesn't mean that Jericho's leaving AEW. It doesn't mean that Jericho's going to sign with Impact. It doesn't mean Jericho's going to do more with New Japan or do less with New Japan. It may just be that his contract allows him to do it and he's exercising that ability. But it doesn't hurt to wonder, because there are situations that are constant moving parts and we don't know where people are going to land in 5 to 6 months, because everything's constantly evolving. And one of the things I think AEW suffers from is the fact that the boys are running